You've done everything you were supposed to do. You did your schooling, you got the job, you found your friends, you followed the roadmap society offered to you. You were told that if you did what you were supposed to do, you would be okay, you'd be happy. And so you checked all the boxes, and yet something is missing. The life you built doesn't seem to satisfy you like it should. Without warning, it begins. A sense of unfulfillment, a restlessness, a staring doubt, somewhere underneath the surface, in the background of your days, whispering quietly, is this really all there is? A dangerous question. At first, it may feel like a passing mood, so we brush it off. Maybe it's just a phase I'm going through. Maybe I just need a holiday. Or maybe I'm just being dramatic. We distract ourselves from feeling it. We feel the need to reaffirm how great our lives are, how there's really nothing missing. Maybe you start binge shopping, start to game more, scroll more, drink more, anything to numb that feeling of dissatisfaction. And yet, whatever you do, whatever you buy, no matter how hard you try, that question keeps on lingering. And not only that, as Jung says, what you resist not only persists, but will grow in size. But what if I told you that you're meant to feel this discontent and doubt about your life? That you're meant to feel so lost? That it doesn't mean you failed? That it's not the end of your story, but of a chapter, the chapter of fitting in, of surviving, of belonging through conformity. What if it's a call to grow? Up until now, we've been building a life that made us feel safe and accepted. That was its purpose. And this is a necessary part of life, a crucial part. This is what was needed in order for us to survive, to become adults. And it has shown us that we can indeed make our way in this world. We can get that job, we can earn that money, we can get into that relationship, we can look after ourselves. These are fundamental beliefs we need about ourselves for the next chapter of our lives. Because the truth is, your life doesn't end here. It is only the beginning. As Jung says, the first half of life is devoted to forming a healthy ego. The second half is going inward and letting go of it. When you've done all that was expected of you, when you've proved to yourself you can make your way, you will be initiated to leave it behind. Not because it failed, but because it no longer feels satisfying or exciting. This can happen to us at any point in our lives, but most frequently around midlife. So, why do we experience this sudden shift? Our souls have an irrepressible longing to make themselves known in this world. They have been waiting patiently until the moment we were ready to hear their call. There's a bigger reason why we are here, alive in this body. We are carrying something unique within us, something only we can give away. The question, is this all there is a call to adventure. It is your soul initiating you to step through that door into the second half of your life, to reclaim your uniqueness. Because it's our uniqueness we often have had to sacrifice in order to survive. But that door is painted with the unknown. There's nothing there that shows where we will end up. It's full of doubts and uncertainties. In the ego's eyes, stepping through feels like death because it will potentially shake up all that we've built. And so it can take a long time to finally admit that the lives we have built no longer fit us, that they are not enough for us, that we have outgrown them. As Jung says, people will do anything, no matter how absurd, in order to avoid facing their own soul. Many will never answer the call. The stakes feel too high, the fears too overwhelming. For some, it takes a crisis, a quiet attempt at correction from the psyche, a burnout, a depression, a profound loss, or heartbreak. Only then, in the stillness that follows, do we find the courage to turn inward and truly listen. After that crisis, a decision awaits. Will you follow the deeper voice calling you to live out your full potential? Or will you turn away and continue living a life where your unique gifts remain hidden, held close to your chest? If you choose to listen to that quiet, insistent voice within, if you long to live a life that is truly your own, where you sing with your own voice, unapologetically, then you are stepping into the second half of your life. This is the start of what Jung called the process of individuation. Jung described it as follows: individuation means becoming an individual, and insofar as individuality embraces our innermost and incomparable uniqueness, it also implies becoming one's own self. But this journey is not a gentle ascent toward light. On the contrary, it typically begins with a necessary descent. Why? Because before you can become who you truly are, you must let go of what you are no longer. The masks, the roles, the inherited beliefs, they must fall away. And this shedding is painful. It is deeply disorienting. You will feel lost. And that is exactly what it should feel like. There is no way around it. As Jung said, there's no coming to consciousness without pain. This symbolic descent is what the ancients called katabasis, the journey to the underworld. Jung referred to the myth of the Night Sea journey in order to describe this descent. In this story, the main character is thrown into dark waters and swallowed by a whale. Once in the belly of the whale, everything they knew and believed about the world and themselves collapses. They feel utterly lost, without hope, in fear, without direction. This is the time in the belly of the whale. This is the necessary journey to the underworld. You don't know who you are anymore. You don't know what to hold on to anymore. You come face to face with the parts of you that you've rejected, that live in your unconscious. The rage, the fears, the wounds, the shame, your deepest desires. All the parts of you that were not welcome in the first half of your life. As Jung said, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. And though everything familiar may seem to dissolve, this isn't your undoing. it's your becoming. You may feel like you're falling apart, but you're actually falling deeper into who you truly are. This descent is not about becoming better, but about becoming more real, more whole, unedited, unfiltered. It is about discarding, shedding what stands in our way of fully realizing our potential that was born with us. And this shedding takes place both within us and outside of us. We may lose old passions, jobs, relationships, values, and though it feels like death, it's actually a rebirth. Like Nietzsche said, you must be ready to burn yourself in your own flame. How could you rise anew if you have not first become ashes? This is not an easy and fast process. There are a lot of blocks, both consciously and unconsciously, to work through during our descent. And so, in my experience, there's not just one descent. We may end up in the belly of the whale multiple times in our lives. This process goes in steps. Meaning is no longer found here in achievement. In this realm, it's found in walking into your uniqueness and living a life that's truly yours. Slowly, after the days of disorientation, the silence, the despair, you begin to feel a flicker of light. This is the moment you begin to emerge from the belly of the whale, not because you fought your way out, but because you surrendered and listened. You were trusting the process. Typically, you will find a truth in that dark and uncertain time. And remember, this doesn't have to be the truth. This descent is likely one of many to follow. You may begin to live by different measures now, not by what impresses others, but by what feels true. Not by what keeps you safe, but by what sets you free. Not by what you're told to be, but by what you are. As writer Thomas More says, you are journeying toward your own life. The promise is exhilarating, but the dangers are extreme. You have to avoid being just one of the crowd and instead take the chance of being born an individual. When you receive your call to adventure, know that it is your time. Know that feeling lost and confused is part of this path. The time of the safe yet narrow ego is over. The time of your life has come. However hard it is, embrace it. Be it. This is what it means to be human. Know that you're not alone on this path. Become the flame you carry within you and light it up. You need it. The world needs it. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to share something about where you're at in your process of becoming an individual, like maybe you're in the belly of the whale right now, or you just got out, or you just received your call to adventure, I would love to read your reflections in the comments. Thank you, and I will see you next time.